This one, I believe it's going to be the same people who've been rating the entire competition from our POV. It's going to be Team Highground. We know there's a few pros there from different games. Venerated, played Overwatch, played PUBG, played a lot of, I think, tried to delve into Fortnite as well. But on Team Smoke, who's going to be going up against them, you have Jammies, Joseph, and Anthony, who I believe are 3 pro Fortnite players with Turn Up Too Easy and Kai. And these guys have been taking to town in various 10-man discords, various scrims with high-level teams, low-level, mid-level, so they know exactly how to break things down when it comes to round-to-round gameplay. But these are the grand finals. It will be a best of 3. So right now it'll be 0-0 for both teams, Highground and Smoke. And what's on the line here? What are these guys fighting for today?
So it is $1,000 prize pool here. So yeah, it's a nice chunk of change. So definitely going to be battling it out, taking their time, and it looks like the map rotation we have here is Bind Haven Split. So everyone throwing Split at the end. You know, we may or may not get to see that today, but we've talked about Split. Split is one of those maps where you have to have a plan and you have a middle ground to where if it gets broken open, you're kind of left scrambling. Which a lot of teams are afraid of.
Yeah, I mean, Split is one of the hardest maps to maneuver on the attacking side from my experience watching and playing it. I think that defensive side, when even just finding a little bit of momentum or one round earlier on, you can just run away with the entire competition. It's really easy to retake sites from multiple angles, easy to hold close choke points, both at B, main, and A. But when it comes to Bind, we've seen these guys base up with so many different compositions. Never got to see exactly what Smoke rolls with, but at least we know that Team Highground is very good at utilizing that Cypher Sage gameplay, very good at utilizing many different rotation baits on offense as well. So we'll see how it holds up, because both these teams are very experienced, played a lot of tournaments, and are now against each other. Going to be seeing Kai's POV from Team Highground talking about the compositions here. The first time we see a Viper in the tournament, at least on stream.
Yeah, we had it actually. One of our very first games was a Viper in the group stages, though. But yeah, I have not seen one in top 32. And I just want to take a quick second to give a shout out to our sponsors from Kilo Gummies. If you haven't heard about them, now is your chance to look into them. 8% increase on reaction time, so perfect for games like this. Definitely check them out. They also do sleep recovery gummies with melatonin in them, all natural substance. You'll help you fall asleep after staring at a screen all day, like we know we all have been doing. And they also have pre-workout as well, so definitely check them out. And into this game now here. Grand Finals, Highground versus Smoke.
Valiant playing close by, letting the enemy team know that his Cypher is the only one allowed to have cameras up. Full rotate coming over to the right side. Joseph here looking to execute onto A. How many smokes he has, I missed, but Dre is going to be looking to defend against it. We're familiar with everyone on defense. Everything gets exploded onto site. Mollies, smokes, trap wires played out, but no one actually taking damage or tags. A huge aftershock actually pulling Kai down, and his heal's not up, so he's going to have to play this game with just 40 HP, but instantaneously we see the 3-man rotate back to short. Everyone is coming through. Valiant on the flank as well. It'll be Cypher v Cypher back there, but right now it's control for U-Haul. Turn up, brings one down. Punis tries to find the next, can't. Pride, the man to close out sights, looks to open things up over here, but gets fault lined, slowed down. Smoke with just 2, now 1 left. It's the Viper wild card. Not going to be found just yet. Going to be playing Showers, Jammies, not finding a shot, and once again, Pride is here to close doors that Smoke is trying to open.
Yeah, and that was a great play from Highground to just kind of rush that U-Haul and know that there's probably going to be 1 or 2 in there, but once you break that backside open, everyone's kind of forced into A because the other side is walled off. So everyone's like forced to kind of play around short A. You know exactly where they're going to be. Viper did do a rotate around a shower, so they kind of lost a person there. Maybe the rotate should have came through a little bit sooner. I feel like maybe just try and get those picks, but beautifully played and recapped by Highground.
Yeah, I mean, Highground, doesn't matter if they're going to be climbing up from the low side of a hard retake against 5 people. They still find their way through. I feel like that aftershock was so monumental as well, dealing so much damage to so many players. Now Joseph will try to find a way from the same side, but now against a full buy almost. These guys only having classics. It'll be difficult to find anything in this round. That Viper execute though from Jammies might give them just enough room. Might be a bait though. The enemy team knows that, clearing out showers, finding no one. The U-Haul player still anchoring, not finding a way to get through. Venerated picks up Joseph on the other side of the map. The one-way wall is here to be able to see something. Jammies, while trying to take it down, gets picked off. Punage looking for wall bangs, doesn't find anything but just a little bit of damage. And now these guys are confirmed onto the site. Have to push through Hookah, down on an ice floor, but staying still instead of sliding across. And Guardians all the way around, they pick up pick after pick and can be used for the next round as well. Highground once again looking flawless.
Yeah, and Smoke, we'll see what they can do if this is going to be a buy round for them or another full save. But I mean, they did go in. That was a pistol round for them. So, you know, the first two rounds, I know Highground is looking just amazing as always, and you know, I don't want to throw too much bias on there or give too much props just for a second round pick. So let's see what Smoke can do with some guns in their hands.
Venerated opens up the map, this time choosing B to find his pick.
That was
He's active again. We didn't see him too hard last time, but this time he's rolling.
And this time there's 3 at B and only 2 on A.
And that might prove disastrous because there's going to be 4 people moving up. We do have Breach to slow things down. Fault lines, flashes. He finds one, sees him. Can't pick him off, though. Going down before using anything else but just one flash. And Kai, complete control of U-Haul. We'll get the spike down. We'll have late rotations as well. Down at the 1 minute mark. Now 45 seconds left for this round to end. 45 seconds of defense. Eagles are there. The angle's there for Punage as well, but no one's going to be peeking this. This might be a team smoke round, but if Venerated can open up a site with one op shot, find players with the recon dart, it might just be enough. Clearing off U-Haul, instant destruction of the recon bolt. But Kai's actually not in there. He's on the outside. Tries to see one, can't find it. Punage with a back-to-back 2-tap. Once again, Valiant now on the front lines, not the back. And that might prove fatal because Anthony's there to answer, but Punage with a 3K finds everyone and now holds down the line. They know where the last person is, but Anthony with the 4K to respond. Venerated cannot find the shot. Too much of a big plate to eat off from. And now we have more of an even competition. 2-1 Highground and Smoke.
And that's what I wanted to see. I don't want to see a 13-2. I'm sorry, I don't. I'd rather see some back and forth action. I want to see, you know, 3K answered with a 4K, answered with a clutch. I really wanted to see some back and forth action, and Smoke did not disappoint. And that's why they're here in Grand Finals.
I will find you.
So another 3-man on B. But 2 will take the teleporter back on over to A. Interesting, leaving only Cypher at B. And they will rush this. Cypher's still not caught out yet. We'll take that one down with him. But that was a very interesting play from Highground to send everyone over to A.
Allow the teleporter to move through quickly. On the backside, though, it's a stack just because they're on classics. So they gamble, get incorrect, but it's easier to move from that A to B side fast, especially with the surprise of the teleporter. But Joseph and Anthony are here to clean things up in fast fashion. The fault line actually getting Venerated a little bit of a chance, but with 31 HP and just a classic. Yep, just like that, Jammies wraps it up. Making it the first time I think we've seen a 2-2 in the last 3 games. It's been stomps all the way around.
No, absolutely. And I like it. I like this back and forth action here. I wonder if that was a misplay. I wonder if only one of them was supposed to go through the teleporter. But I don't know. We'll never know. Unless I can ask them. If you're in chat, was that supposed to happen?
I'm pretty sure it's always these crazy classic plays that end up happening. You try to find a way to get a surprise on your enemies, but when it's an eco round, they expect so much. Venerated with a fast pick, this time red. It does not work twice on this team. With 3 people up there, a hard call.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it could have been a 1-for-1 trade on there, but that was a very quick, great rush from Smoke to just get in their face. And if you miss that first shot, you're stuck reloading. Oh, and the jump peek around the corner, no fear. I've been seeing that a lot. The jump spin, the headshot. It's a little crazy for me.
Yeah, they're definitely getting fancy with it.
And it looks like they're just going to back off and save. And it looks like Smoke will go up 3-2. So high ground. Maybe not used to being down at all in these last couple rounds.
I mean, that's a very big point because playing with momentum and then being kind of distraught, not having that big money pool to fall back on, can't change the game plan. You'll see a few exit frags looking back and forth. Doesn't have to actually find anyone else. Ride putting down a smoke just for insurance purposes. Let that round end, but definitely a good point that these guys, it's going to be the first time actually I think that they're going to be down past gun rounds. So sometimes losing pistols but bringing things back, especially against Team Vinny. This is the first instance of them looking up at an opponent and being the short ones of the stick.
Yeah, and we have we got a Sova ult ready, and then we have a Breach ult ready, and one away from Kai getting a resurrection for Team Smoke here. So ultra even on either side, just about. And Sova ult pulling it out immediately, just see if he can get some picks.
And tries to find one, but it's dodged and ducked by the Cypher all the way over at Showers. The rest of the team all the way at Hookah. Information given us not seeing any players back and forth, not getting a single target. We'll see Venerated make the switch all the way over to B just in case, but they're still playing default. The spike down in market. Two players now working up short. No aggressive peeks means information isn't there. A camera finally put down, but it's defensive from Team Highground's end. And now with 1 minute left, the attacking side, Team Smoke, has to choose where to go. I think it'll be an A hit. Jambies might save that toxic wall.
Yeah, it looks like a slow rotation over to B, actually. Breach ultimate out, wall immediately up to keep them protected from the hazy eyes.
But a double Vandal is there, and there's the camera finally making it work. Not actually tagging. No, it does. Onto turn up, and he gets turned straight down. Poonish finding two, but then getting traded out. Venerated and Dre finish up that round in a matter of a second, though. The big peek from the backside of Hookah, finding the entire team. Not actually sure of how fast the round is going. Can't keep up with the rotations. Not even the retakes of the site. It was barely just even claimed yet.
Yeah.
From Team Smoke. Yeah.
Absolutely. That happened so fast and so quick. That was such a good rotation from AO to B for the rest of the team. But quick reactions on the wall after hearing the Breach ultimate coming out just to keep them safe and buying themselves some time. But Poonage getting the two kills, back to back like that really put the Team Highground up. Ooh.
That's Venerated's classic aggressive peek. This time choosing A. Banking on it, gambling, and actually coming off with a reward. Finds two more people off that recon as well. This time, though, Jammies gets to stay up. Will not have a Hunter's Fury to actually combo off of this. He has two people being shown right now. If he did, it'd be so nice. But we saw him use it that previous round. Won't have it for the next few. Anthony trying to take control of Showers. Doesn't want to give away his position, though, on tapping that orb. Doesn't have an ultimate just yet, but is getting close. Valiant gets his. Once again on the flank, finding 1 and 2, my God. A peek into two faces, getting one, and still being able to back off. Valiate off this backside. You give him even a second of time, he turns that into 2 kills.
Yeah, no, and that puts Highground in a very good position. Now 2v4, Cypher's still a little low, no heals available for him. So I won't count Smoke down and out just yet, but 2v4 is never something you want to be up against. But we've seen how quickly that can turn around. Unfortunately,
the faster draw.
Venerated said, mine.
It's not a chance. We saw him miss it once, but unlike other teams, he doesn't falter after that. He builds up. He strengthens. Gets the shot down. 50-50. Hits the line of sight first. This time it's going to be a save from the offensive side again. A close game though, 3-3. Being tied up and then broken out by Highground this time. So Smoke will be on the back end. His default strategy, maybe they want to go towards showers just a little bit more. Whichever player there might be the operating cause of what's to come. They don't have too many concrete abilities to hold it down. Just one brimstone. Making sure no one gets the orb and moves up too fast. We'll see if Anthony can open that up. If not him, we have to make sure Venerated doesn't get another pick. That's the second round now. Out of the 7 that have been played that are thanks to Venerated, 1 man up for Team Highground. And so far, they've won 4.
Yeah, I mean, Team Smoke does have a breach on their side, so they could open up with a nice blind before moving in. Maybe even smoke heaven or the typical spots. But the thing that Venerated's doing is he's alternating from A to B. So, trying to judge where he's at's really tricky. So not staying in one place is actually really working out well for him. He's able to catch them off guard.
Yeah, and this time using that Viper toxic screen to let these guys move on the site. Get that Sage wall to confirm everything after the fact. Venerated though with a very cheeky angle over the wall. Might be able to find one. We'll see it opened up by Breach and Owl Drone going in. And this is a slight counter to the Viper's pits because if he gets a tag here anywhere, he can op it straight through. He knows where one player is, goes for the peek, the pre-fires, doesn't find any. Right now, Jamie's going down, means a smoke wall goes, and then your boy Dre picks him up. That's the last player. And now 5-3 for this round. Ending fast, very chaotic, hard to see. I blinked, might have missed it.
I know.
But no shots were missed on the defensive side. 4 people still up. They invested Viper's Pit into that round, Team Smoke, so they won't have it again, I think, for a large portion of this half.
Yeah, and that was such a good retaliation to Venerated having the op sites, saying, hey, well, let me take his vision away, and then before we knew it, all the Smoke's members were down. All right, and look at the economy on Venerated. Just able to buy an op after op and also help his teammates out as well.
Yeah. I think the main thing that both of these teams need to focus on is baiting out ult charges and stacking up their own. Right now, the more Highground can just rely on gunplay, the better off they will be for the latter halves of the half. But if they have to use ultimates now, if they have to resurrect, go for Hunter's Furies, counter with Rolling Thunders. That'll just make it easier for Smoke to reply later on in just a few because they have 3 different teammates stacked at 3 ult charges. In 3 rounds.
Yeah, and Smoke playing this one very cautiously.
And they are playing it very far back, waiting for Valiant's push, but this time it's complemented by your boy Dre, or your boy Dre's gun backup. Turn up, making sure he doesn't actually waste a flash for no reason. Waits at the backside, an A execute coming in, but it's a fake, and it works on Venerated, rotating over. But still, 2 players all the way up long is going to be Valiant getting revived. And now 5 people up again, an advantage. Team Highground. A shot there, Valiant. There's natural habitat on the right side of the map. Gets 1 big shot off, but then here is the response. Valiant, even though he's dazed, actually he's not, he dodges it, he helps his team out. Your boy Dre gets jammies. These teammates have each other's backs. This pride closes things out once again. This is the time for Highground to perform, and all 5 players are playing so well.
Yeah, that communication.
Surviving if they're not thriving.
It's just it's so crisp and so clean from the side of Highground, and they you're right, they have each other's backs, which is crucial, and they're just rotating and playing back, and I like the Sage plays. She's keeping herself safe and putting up walls immediately. Not letting herself get easily picked off like we've seen previously, knowing that she's a key player here. And here you have baiting out that shot, making sure she's safe, getting those alt orbs. His poor camera sacrificed for the greater good.
He got startled off that pick. Could have been rolled up on so fast, but everyone blocked off. It's going to be a fast B hit. And I don't think that Highground's responding and respecting it fast enough. And that's because there's a teleporter option. These guys can still get right away. And I feel like they finally possibly even hear the cast as they double back, go towards Heaven and A. 1 person out on hookah. Maybe. But the push is taking too long. Maybe a double fake almost. to get close enough to get enough people out. There's one teleport that comes in. It attracts a lot of people off with the Viper wall up. It's only Valiate's camera that can see this eco strat and possibly stop it. No one coming through just yet. He now has no eyes. Finally gets them up. There's still no one here. A double back. The defense is completely confused. And with just classics, Smoke is trying to find a way to get in, get the spike plant down. Walls up again. Everyone drastically runs back with 35 seconds left. Punich's gun is there. You can have the strats. If you don't have the aim to follow up, it won't matter. The Hunter's Fury gets baited out. Finds one target. Jamie trades another. Valiant finally down. Punich on elbow, looking for something. The spike not down yet. He denies it. Venerated tries for himself, but Punich is there at the perfect spot to stop everything. A strat that almost worked, but didn't have the firepower behind it. Smoke playing so well, but Highground running away with rounds.
Yeah, that was perfect. They sent 3 people over to A at the last second there with that heavy push. And yeah, Highground just, waltzed on back. They held their position. Punich had a great position in elbow and was able to get a couple picks back there. I mean, if you're Smoke, you got to clear all your angles. Don't frantically run at the letter B on the map. Spread out, get your picks, secure a plant, and control the pace.
Although the pace shouldn't be that fast for me, at least on an eco round. We'll see what these guys do with guns, because that was really impressive to watch. This time they get a big glimpse of both the spike and multiple people up in hookah. Although good, might be an over investment of abilities. 2 ices already used from Highground side. Punich, we know, doesn't matter how many abilities he's down. His aim is there to back it up. Another Viper wall being played down. And then a wall of shots coming straight into Punich's face. Jammies gets traded out by Venerated, who has the op, is going to be the actual operating person that we should watch in this scenario. Has all the angles. There's another wall bank possibility. Nope, another pickup on a turn up. This is a big wall to try to get past, and Venerated, no abilities needed, just a pure aim, secures it down, both opening early rounds and now closing out this half almost with 3 big picks back to back.
Yeah, I mean, getting an operator into the hands of Venerated has just proven so beneficial for the side of Highground. It's not even funny. And he keeps picking different spots to open up with on this operator. It's short A, it's heaven A, it's long B. Maybe I'm gonna look at hookah this time, and he's just keeping Smoke guessing from side to side to side. Is quite beautiful to watch.
And being that aggressive, turning it down, and then staying passive after it, just the choice of not even trying to op anywhere, because they know that other Team Smoke will be scared at this point. Which they are. I mean, Bulldogs, half buys. It's the last round. You have to force it. Playing back will be so smart because they know that Jammies is getting angsty. He has every setup, every good wall, every execution there, but he can't wrap up the round with the shots. Trades aren't coming in. The abilities post-plant aren't there this time. Valiant taken out. The possibility for a resurrection there again. The Molly will come close.
Surprised he didn't
to block him off, but it's not enough.
That I would have orbital strike that. As soon as I saw that, I know where he has to run. I know where that wall is, and I'm laying it down because you have the potential to get 2 of them for that.
And even just keeping it that way, but saving the orbital strike, especially on offense, you can control U-Haul just like this and get the opportunity for a plant, but you can't stop Venerated from opping. Another orbital strike will come down, take out Anthony. Pride, the security man, the insurance will be there for the round, and this time I think it's going to be too much for Smoke. Remember though, it is a best of 3. This is the first map. We'll see if these guys can adapt and hold their lead afterwards. Wait a minute though, turn up, nah, gets things rolling, but then trips over his own feet as Pride closes things out. Cannot win a round if Pride is still alive, and that's been the case time and time again for Highground.
Yeah, I mean, the score is 3-9. It's a 6-point difference. We'll see what Smoke can do on defense here, but yeah, you're right. This is a best of 3. So if this isn't a one of the team's best maps, maybe Haven will be, and it'll be nice to see that switch. Giving them that chance to have another map under their belt and a different strategy to run with. And then if we get to split, we'll have to see these very interesting strats that they use to hold A and B. and mid.
Yeah, we'll see raises. I'm down to see raises.
The Rockets. Oh, you know, I have to say that might be one of the most frustrating ways I've been killed.
Yeah, it's rough.
It feels so bad.
Camera taken out.
We'll get used to it.
Yeah.
We'll adapt.
Especially when it's you and a teammate. Then it really
Yeah.
feels bad. Oh, the deflect.
That sucks, but with the last patches changed, they will be able to knife through this wall fast. Not before Valiant takes down one, but Anthony responds with a sage pickup of himself.
Ooh, straight
Close
blind
splash
into
that
his
Valiant
face.
cannot dodge. He gets completely blinded out. Turn up's there to pick it up.
All right, 3v4 situation with Smoke having the upper hand here. They will have to rotate quickly over to A. There should be enough time for the spike to go down. Spike planted. Let's see how they decide to move in post-spike. Everybody
It'll be
handles this
pistols.
differently.
Yeah. And they'll have to because some people have bought a lot of abilities. Jammy's actually putting a lot down. Viper on a retake can't put up this wall and find a way to safe defuse, but with that ping available on the map, it might not be possible. Baiting out one, going for 2 and 3. Jammy's activated. Toxic, Venomous finds 2 and turn up to pick up the third.
Now
That will be a very crucial round for Team Smoke.
Absolutely, that was great. Jammy's laying down the, the acid spit on the other side of those boxes, clearing her corners before going around that corner herself. But Highground lined up the headshots almost perfectly for them to capitalize on that. It almost gave him a 3K there.
Yeah, I mean, it was close.
Yeah, that's scary. You got to watch those stacks. I say it time and time again. Do not stack.
I mean, even if you don't, if you're playing solo, Viper right there, we just saw that smoke
can
orb
find
be
you
thrown
again.
from her. The toxic, I gotta learn the name of that ability, but the fact that it's there, it lets you get a one-way on people's legs in showers, and then because of that, it makes this character have such control on defense. Right now, the acid pool and the molly being played down, short control will not be a possibility for this team on an eco by Highground, who did lose that pistol round.
Oh, no, but Smoke fully rotated off B, though.
That's true. But there's Cypher traps here, I'm pretty sure.
Doubling
Or
back.
maybe not.
Doubling back.
The fault line. It pops up, slows things down for just a little bit, but it'll be a brawl on the site. Classics against Spectres. Your boy Dre trades out Pride.
And they do have the backside walled off, so they're a little safe there. They're gonna back it up and see where they come from. One will stay on site, though.
We'll have to just retake carefully. Cage is now down. Wall's not there either. Anthony moving up the right, although in eco now things get more intense as there's a round possible win. A fault line being trapped down and 2 people getting traded. Still 3 up for the offense. All up to Anthony with a stinger. Has to get close and personal, but can't at the moment. The wall bang there, switch to classic. Can't find it, and the upset. It's going to be Valiant for Highground, who often eco gets a plant off the big fake. We talked about how Smoke was doing it, I believe, on round 5. On round 14, it's Highground that takes it and gets double digits on the board. This could be map 1 again. We could be seeing the Bind Kings hold on to their crown.
Oh, absolutely. That was very well played. I mean, good attempt on the side of Smoke. He did bust out the pistol to try and close that out, but a 2v1 situation, you only have so much time before somebody else peeks their head and has their teammates back. But it was a good try on Smoke.
Yeah.
They had the right idea for sure.
And this time they'll have full
My eyes
utility,
are
so
down.
things will be a little bit scarier. On the offensive side, some people, though, Valiant especially, will be on a Spectre. Harder long-range fights. You get to bait with for the entry, though, and if it's that close, Kai stands no chance. And he moves his way onto site as a solo, so they might not want to supremely play off of this play. They might fight more on the site. This time, people will move through hookah. That big recon bolt exposing so many through the toxic wall of jammies, actually proving to be disastrous for the defensive side, actually helping out the Highground on offense.
Yeah. and
PUBG players switching games and
the,
taking names.
the early pick on the stage, I mean, there were footsteps. They were running. So, I mean, when you hear that, you got to be a little faster to react with your slow orbs in your wall, for sure.
Yeah. And once again, Pride surviving means that this round is 100% over.
They are
That's been the
chasing
telltale
Anthony
sign.
down.
Oh!
And he'll see if he can get a couple on the way out.
Cage triggered.
Good attempt, good
Yeah,
attempt.
that's
So, 4-11 here. Let's see if Smoke can turn it around and get a couple more on the board before calling it a match here. 19-9. Poonage really showing up here.
Yeah, I mean,
this time.
something we actually haven't been able to highlight too much just because it's consistent every round compared to Venerated's op shots aggressively.
Yeah.
So really good from him. I think it's a 3K almost every round when it comes to retakes. If you guys are new to Valorant, the score only goes up to 13. And there's 2 halves. This is the second. And for this tournament, for this finals format, it is a best of 3. So one more map after this, Highground will have to win. If they continue like they're doing now and win out this map. A slow field there, though, to possibly ruin my prediction.
Commentators curse.
But look at the area coverage these guys have on over the map. Although there's still 4 people working B, this could not be the site they ultimately end up taking, even though they have such a strong force at hookah. We have 1 player all the way back at A looking for any flank rotates. Valiant won't be the one flanking this time once again. They find one on the backside, and boom, a big ultimate to knock 1 player off. It's going to be Valiant. It's going to be a defensive one. And Kai gets it. Poonage trades out from the other side, though.
And they will
An
rotate.
offensive battle medic.
And he hears the heavy footsteps, probably calling for help as we speak. Oh, shot through the smoke. That was unfortunate for the side of Smoke. 3v4 situation here. And Highground does have a res available too if things get hairy again, but Smoke's going to have to play this and really get some good picks here. Shoot down that wall.
Oh, no. They know where everyone is off that recon bolt. They'll try to do something. Not sure what this is. Possibly a boost. Yes, it's a 2-man operation. He gets up, but everyone's already hidden. Jammies going into the pit first. Does not have his ultimate. Goes for the coastline shot. Trying to find one. Does get 1 person out, but instantaneously, everyone picks like a machine. Highground's working at maximum efficiency. 12 rounds to 4. They might just wrap up game 1.
And that was a good strat to get up and over without any sound. So they would have never known if she landed on the ground over there and which side she would have been on. But unfortunately, we are staring down the barrel of a gun for Team Smoke here. This is match point. Highground looking to clutch this first one out in a stunning fashion as always.
Poison orb emitting.
And now Jamie switches up the strategy, possibly going for an aggressive peek over. At Showers, no. He's putting the wall down preemptively. Will not have it available for a retake. It's seen, well, we've seen it ruin some rounds before. And an aggressive peek side from the offense. Highground here over at B. A crucial round. This is match point for Team Highground. Smoke has to win so many in a row. And Kai looking clueless. A tap-tap. Revenge almost for your boy Dre. He comes in trying to find things. Valiant, once again, not going to see the light of day, but Poonage opens up the windows again. He gets resurrected. 3 people now left as everything's looking dreadful for Team Smoke. They're getting popped.
There they are.
And although there is
I know exactly.
a big ultimate, nothing's going to be possible. No disrespect there. A clean game for Team Highground. And oh my God, these guys just look like absolute beasts against the competition.
No, absolutely. They're playing clean. They're looking great. And it's kind of looking a little grim. I don't want to say that, but it's looking a little grim for Team Smoke. So, I mean, hopefully Team Smoke can turn it around on Haven and find some strats or, you know, some compositions that, you know, Highground aren't used to playing against. I don't know. So it's rough. It's rough right now. It's like you're a coach in a locker room trying to find the words to say that you can do this. You know, that was the end of the first half. Let's pull it out and let's, you know, get our heads wrapped around what we need to do. But, I mean, if you were the coach of Smoke, what would you be telling them right now? Like, what words could you find to to boost morale?
I mean, the coach's job, first and foremost, is to pinpoint what's going right and wrong. I think for Highground right now, the one thing we've seen this game, more so because we've watched them play back-to-back, is roles. So before we saw Venerated take a step back, not really pop off in the last match we saw. This time he's up again like we saw the very first time him play in the quarterfinals. Punij, though, stepping up, playing aggro positions we didn't see in a map before. If I was the coach of Team Smoke, I would say, listen, guys, I understand we're doing executes, but let's try to actually figure out why someone's entering, where to be after the fact, right? Let's get things together and communicate, because I feel like they're not talking enough. They don't have a set plan post-plant, and Team Highground does. They roll in, they know who has to be first. You'll notice me say it, you'll watch it in game. Pride is always the last one to rotate. He's always the last one on site. That's because he has the most consistent clutches, I think, 1vx compared to the whole team. That's why he's not being sent in first. I think the mistake from Smoke that round was sending in Valiate time and time again as the entry fragger on Cypher. He can play with so much information on his own eyes, right? He can get in. He's on the flank 24/7, very good at clutching. But him being there first 24/7, it's not a good look for the team. I feel like if they switch that up, in Haven especially, Cypher is so good at map control. It's a smaller map, right? You can rotate faster. The trap wires, the cages can be used on the fly. He will be the operator, no pun intended, with the gun. He'll be like the one person to watch. And we'll see how it goes as the grand finals are ramping up and Highground has one win.
Yeah, no, it's kind of difficult. I felt like for Team Smoke being on defense, their positions were a little off, especially, you know, the Sage, I think it was Kai, being in Garden or Flowers on point B. You know, they have a breach. They have...
Yeah, like, why is the Sage there? Yeah. Like,
yeah, why are you in there being aggressive as if you're, you know, in the category of attack when you are a Sage, you are a healer, you have slows, you have walls, and if you're first getting picked off, not once, but twice, I think maybe even a third time in there, you know, there's a problem. You got to switch that up. You have to find a position to keep yourself safe because you need to stall for time.
yeah, I mean, like,
you're not an entry fragger on defense,
yeah.
so
it's like the best analogy to kind of say in terms of what Team Smoke is doing is that they got their order of operations wrong. They're subtracting before they're multiplying. They're adding before they divide, right? And I think that's the issue. If they, I'm not sure, reverse things or slow down and switch things up, stop playing so fast and just assess things first, figure out what to do, so they don't pick like the wrong order, the wrong choice. Like they have time. I feel like they're getting a little bit too hasty.
yeah.
But we'll see if they get their math right in this game. It'll be Haven, a different change of pace, 3 sites, completely different dynamic. This is very much relying on team play in terms of covering sites. When one person rotates, many have to.
That goes there.
Every single kill is a lot more effective when gotten early on Haven, I think, compared to any other map.
Oh, absolutely. And here we have the Cypher camera peeking the angle for them. So useful. And pretty spread out. Highground sending a couple people each lane, trying to get some intel before actually making any commitments here. Nice, slow, and methodical.
Yeah, the camera on long you mentioned will give them a lot of information as to who's actually watching what and how on A. Not pushed up kind of gives away that it might be a Cypher. No Omen smoke gives away that it's obviously not an Omen because he'd be pushed up on it. So they'll be able to get an aggressive camera up on short. Very smart. Both Cyphers knowing this, though, will try to bait each other out on it. They confirm exactly who's on the site. And that camera gets taken out. Vital information. On the other side of the map, though, garage control coming down. Grass control here on the offensive. Omen getting baited over to A. They know this. The Cypher player now communicating that in the fray in garage. Will not be able to help this 4-man take the split. Just the spike carrier going to be coming in long. And he, playing off the distraction, will finally peek and have a free lane all the way up. It's Punij walking in. Venerated, looking for shots slowed down, though. Punij will be the operator, but will choose to actually move out and possibly go back. They know exactly where cameras are on A. They could switch over to B. Omen got pulled towards the left. That'll be the case on Gong, but he rings first as Jammies finds one. Tries to connect with the second. Anthony with a 2-piece back-to-back. The headshot's there for Joseph, but it's already over that fast. That rotation. Maybe this time Highground was playing a little bit too hasty. They're 1 up on the maps, but now down 1 round as Smoke has momentum.
Yeah, no, that was beautifully played by Smoke, shifting over and really holding down. Even though it was a 4-man burst through Garage, they held down C very well. Got a pick there, and then the Omen just did not win the middle ground B, but they were able to swing around and capitalize on the rest of the team coming in and being down.
Yeah.
So, you know, humbling high ground a little bit. It is pistol round, though. You know, it is. But I'm sure that felt really good for Smoke to get one on the board early.
You can't get excited, though, right? Right now,
can't.
Anthony possibly overextending. Somehow, though, doesn't actually get taken down. A lot of classics, I guess, so it'll be difficult. They find the camera, too. Look for the coins. Don't get him. Joseph, though, on the other side of the map. Anthony's counterpart. We'll see success in holding down the flank. Them knowing that, though, they've played against them one map before. They know the way Team Highground finally rotates off of picks, and especially getting picked. Immediately giving up pressure on A once they sense no sounds. And then spread across the map. People now on B. Is there enough time to put the spike down? Absolutely not, as turn up too easy. Gets the big pick off with the aftershock. Valiant trying to get anything off the plate here. It's not going to be possible. He does get a ghost picked up, I think, but I don't think that's what these guys were looking for from this round. A $300 gun. Or 500.
Yeah, I mean, they'll take what they can get right now. Great start for Smoke. Has to be feeling some kind of way. Feeling a little confident now, which will be nice. And just looks like Cypher's going to chill in the back there, wait this out. Maybe look for a pick. Oh, and unfortunately, wrong hallway. All right, so Smoke up 2-0 now. This might be their map, but this map, I feel, has the biggest flip in a switch for teams when you go from attack to defense.
Yes.
And, I mean, you could be down 8-9 rounds and completely turn it around on Haven.
Mm-hmm.
So this map just has that potential.
I'm not sure exactly. I guess the reason this is happening is because of the compositions. You talk about the half switch, that'll be huge for this map because Team Smoke, living up to their name, have both Omen and Brimstone. So you'll see the amount of places they can actually cut off and slow down just based on vision.
Yeah.
And then if you look at Team Highground, they have the information there. They've got Sova, they've got Breach, they've got the entry fraggers, they've got all the lines of sight locked down. But when that switches over, I think defense will be harder for Highground. Offense will still be at an advantage for Smoke, but they won't have the big boy moves like Sova's ultimate. They'll have Breach available too. I think Smoke possibly with a better composition here.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, and some maps, you know, we're seeing have better team compositions for them. Oh, and a nice double from Anthony to really hold down A by himself here, but he will get taken out. Yeah, composition is actually starting to factor. We're coming to see as people are getting more comfortable with their abilities.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to see that a lot more characters are favored over others for specific map reasons.
Yeah. It's one team playing for information, the other one playing to adapt off of sounds and cues and smoke things off. So we'll see how that plays off this half. This round, though, skipped over the final moments, but it was a 2v3, then suddenly just cut down. Not too much to watch. We'll wait for that fourth one. I think it might be a half buy once again. These are some of the ones you can predict, but also some of the ones that get really interesting from Team Highground. They get very creative. No threat of looming teleporters, though. They'll have to take sites naturally. Can't switch fast, but when we saw them do that before on B, it went bad.
Yeah, and this is a save round for Highground. So it's going to be a tough one to pull in, maybe just going in for some picks and some alt charge, but we'll see what the strat is here.
Turnout will look to peek, but he'll be looking straight at 5 if they decide to peek out. Actually sneaking by the left will be Brim. Jammies finds Valley at this time. Him on the op. Venerated, not all the way active on his just yet. Will even use one on the offensive side of Haven, a completely different map.
This is now a 5-man rush on to B.
Yeah, and all he needs to do is get the spike down, but he doesn't have it. It's Venerated with it.
Oh, I'm Venerated
with this distraction, Anthony picks up 2, and their sight hold is still so good. Pride actually Getting that trade, they'll try to get on C. Kai takes down one. Pride now stuck in between a rock and a very, very difficult place to be in. Garage by himself. Does not find one shot. Anthony picks it up. And that's 4 rounds locked in for Smoke.
Yeah, and they have to be feeling pretty good about themselves right now to be up, 4-0. Like I said, this map has a tendency to really completely swap roles and swap score. Sorry, my brain. So 4-0, still it's nothing to sneeze at, but it's also nothing to get too excited about either. It's like it's so hard to get excited about. It's like such a big lead, but you have to start feeling good at some point, especially after what they went through the last match on Bind.
Yeah.
All right, Venerated with the operator this time, but a smoke will come down.
With the recon, it might actually be bad than good. Pride getting stuck between 2 decisions. Doesn't even pick a single one. He sees the boost. That is good information for Venerated, but it could be a bait as well. To get him to spend too much time. It is kind of. Sage not up there right now. Chooses to go all the way back to Plat. Can't cross. That'll cross Venerated's mind himself.
Yeah, which is smart. I mean, you don't want to peek an operator. Why? Why would you peek an operator on Venerated, who's shown, in the last match that he's very handy with that? Keep yourself protected. You're there to slow the roll of long C. Wait for the sound cues. Wait for them to peek. Playing much more patient this time around. I like seeing that adaptation from Smoke. It's very good to see.
Yeah, they're holding. The biggest thing on Bind that tossed them over, crossed them up was the sight change. Right now, Anthony can't get away from the fault line, and because of that, Valiant comes in. Once again, the entry fragger, but this time has the cages down, the cameras up, the coins tossed. No Witcher here to stop things, though, as Jammies, the ghoul, all the way up top, gets taken down by Punage. The revive there as well to make a 3v2, a 4v2. 13 seconds left. Trades being taken, now 1v3, as it's just Kai. No one else to heal but himself with one ice slow orb. Looking for a way to get into this site. It'll be Heaven. Now locked in, possibly just saving up the operator. He is. They hear it, but
yeah, smart move. Smart move.
Mm-hmm.
Go. That's a lot of money. Ain't able to get a pick on the way out. So good on Kai, playing it slow. Saving some economy for his team. But you do have 3 ults now ready on the side of Smoke. For defense, and Kai 1 away from getting a res, turn up 1 away from getting the breach ultimate, which is going to be very great. So Smoke not looking too bad, even though losing a round. They're set up quite nicely for the next one.
Yeah, they'll wait it out. This will have that big unit on Jammies. He's going to be carrying the mantle of the sniper. They've already picked up 1 pick all the way at A long. This time, he'll be switching over to B. This is one of the patterns we've seen from operators on both maps, switching up their POVs time and time again. The one thing with Omen, his shadow step, the ability to teleport to different angles. He can opt from so many different places, make so many scenarios up for the defensive side to watch. A breach, though, doesn't matter where Jamie speaks from. If he gets a flashpoint through that window, if he gets a flashbang off, won't matter. His screen will be red either way.
Yeah. Definitely. So, Omen on the side of defense, sometimes you... Oh, nice little trade here. Venerated down to 26. Gonna think twice about that.
Yeah. He tried with the shadow step, didn't work. Now, good communications, fast movements as well. For Ven to get that ult orb charge, you could get 2 this round as well. If they get the plant off, he'll have his Hunter's Fury ready for the post. So very important, actually, and a possible tide swing for momentum for Venerated here. He could lead his team to victory. That being said, though, they have to get the site first with Valiant going up against this trap wire. It'll be difficult. Anthony has to be the better Cypher, and he is. Playing the brain game, waiting out and using his guns. His brawn, giving Jammies the opportunity to get an angle with the op. That's good. Punage now. The 3v1 clutch master looking for something to get, but can't grab anything. Anthony finally going down to Venerated. Jammies trading back. It's a battle of the big boys. Jammies on an op and Venerated to answer as well. Punage now looking over at Heaven. The spike still not down. Venerated has an opportunity here to look over, but he's the one who has to plant first.
Yeah,
They're gonna get
Hellfire
separated.
coming out here. And unfortunately, the Lone Ranger here, not enough time to plant. He will back off and try to save his op, maybe possibly getting a pick off here. That was patience on the side of Smoke, and having Orbital Strike there just really shut down any chance Highground had of planting while waiting that long.
It's actually a perfect time to use that ultimate as well, because just being 6 rounds in, you can now have another one for the end of the half, regardless, as long as you get one ult orb. But I don't think that's what he's going to be focused on, especially on Team Smoke's side. Joseph, we see him get at least 1 or 2 picks every 1 or 2 rounds. So he'll have enough to boost his chances up as long as these guys go for retakes and defend well. 2 orbital strikes and a half is going to be huge for getting rounds on the board.
Oh, yeah. And they're just making some noise here, taking off the armor off those double doors, shooting through, making sure that it's cleared out. They are all huddled up, though, not spread out too far to get some info. So it looks like mid might be the play for Highground here. And they know he's up, and he's dropped.
And that's the counterplay of abilities, although it seems so strong. Having the option to see that happen first. Valley explained the character so well.
Lots
Even
of
the opposite side
abilities
role. Yeah.
being expended here.
What an arrow here from Venerated, showing exactly where people are going and playing. Joseph has to commit to the left, but they know, and they're pre-aiming this angle. If he peeks for even a second and makes his footstep or his sound, there's the op shot. Narrowly misses.
Jamie's looking to get a pick of his own. Oh, but the Breach ultimate coming out, and a lot of hazy eyes going to be in there. They can totally rush this.
They're trying to, man, Jamie's not a chance to aim in when he's that dazed. And a big flick, though, when Venerated's looking clean and his head is free. They move over to C. One Sage, though, in the window can stop it, but Punij is clearly the better healer, clearly the better fighter as well, as he gets that trade finished quickly. 13 seconds left. The spike goes down. A 2-man operation. Anthony opening it up. No theft needed. He's breaking and entering first. Joseph picks it up. It's the duo that everyone talked about for such a long time now on a different game, opening up a site. Orbital strike available, so these guys will have to push up. They know exactly where they are. They line up. It's not possible. Pride is alive, and that means this round is over. Ult or not, Molly's both being dropped down. But Highground has the win this time.
Yeah, that was so back and forth and very well played from both sides to kind of rush in, but also trying to pick it up. But now you have an orbital strike from Pride, which we know, Pride is the anchor, so he should be in there last. And once it's planted, he should be able to protect it pretty well with that orbital strike. But I mean, this is looking a little closer than it was in the first couple rounds. Now I think Highground is kind of finding their rhythm. And that was an interesting push on mid. You don't see a lot of mid pushes on this map only because of how open it is. You can get caved in on from the left and the right.
Yeah. Getting control of it, though, very important. Early garage entry will cause the rest of the map to scatter. They know no one's all the way up at A, though. So Highground looks to move in. A lot of people here at C. Doubled up on the window as well, and the crossfire at B. A big long-range flash coming in, letting Punij actually go forward, but he doesn't get an opportunity to actually put anything down in terms of a wall. Now everyone's moving through. The spike coming in late. Going to be relayed over to the Sage player. We'll see him put things down. Punij now looking to block off garage. That wall might not last for too long with Vandals and Phantoms in play.
Yeah, and then he just found himself in a very bad spot getting closed on. But now you have, your smokes down. Hellfire comes out to delay the...
And it's X-ray vision, and they're just getting the disease out of the way. There's no way that right now it'll be a possibility for this defuse. It's close. They're still trying to find a way. It's Pride. No ult needed from him to finish things off, but 2 invested to make sure that this spike does not get diffused.
Yeah, and that was a great turnaround from Highground. Even though the smokes were down, they were throwing everything they could at it. They got intel from those arrows. And the word I was looking for earlier was diffuse. I could not think of it though. But great turnaround from Highground to to take that long C. And placement of the spike on C is so crucial because you want to put it in a spot that you can aim down sights and know exactly what you're hitting. And they've been very good at that.
They've been so good too at when they're in that position playing in twos. Like right now, you'll see Pride and Punage walking up together, making sure a site's taken, window, 2 people there, and then a lurker. So no matter where these guys are, they have someone that can trade them out or someone that can deal damage afterwards and provide pressure while they go for abilities or orbs. We'll see Kai take out Pride though. And because of that 2-man split, he'll be able to get resurrected. Joseph will be there as well now. 2 Sages getting 2 Brims back up. The smoke's still alive.
It's important. Those smokes are important.
Cage triggered.
And a double cage to let Valiant walk all the way down. Past the connector, getting to Jammies. The operator now down in the big hands of the accurate man. And we'll have A site completely clear for a 5-man take. I don't think with a Spectre that Joseph stands a chance at this.
No, they must be saving now. They're just slowly rotating around, make sure they don't get picked off. They know what it is. And what a turnaround from Highground. They definitely found a rhythm. This will go to 5-4 now.
Yeah,
and
there.
Yeah. Smoke, for the most part, it's not that they've been playing it wrong. They were a little aggressive on this round, though, with the breach flash and then running out. Smoke running out to try and get some picks off that. So, maybe take that breather, take a step back, continue to let Highground peak. The first couple rounds, they were patient. And now it seems like they're just kind of running out. So,
yeah, they're going for the hunt right now. Economy is really important to actually damage. They have enough money to go for it, but Joseph and Kai clap back. Punaj gets Kai down. Not enough time to get Joseph out of the mix. They're so poor right now. Looking to just half buy, wait for the next round. Smart choice over from Team Highground.
This should do.
And you mentioned the fact that they're coming back. You're going to need a UV light to see this invisible factor. It's the adaptations, the small one-off moments, the groupings we mentioned, 2-2 at all times. Highground's playing like really well at the very small things. Not even micromanaging, but just making sure they have a little bit more information before they push. If they push, there's no hesitation on any player. Everyone understanding where everyone is. It's seamless gameplay right now. And they're just cleaner than Smoke on the second half. They're starting to predict exactly what's going on by just taking that extra second. And Smoke is not really changing much up. Still an Omen playing mid B. Still 2 people holding down Garage. If they do change things up, that's when Highground knows it's happening. And they switch it over. Right now, though, Pride, uncharacteristically, not actually landing a shot. But once again, Punaj, the rule of 2, is there to pick it up. They have full control of mid right now. Giving up a lot. Anthony actually answering up on A. I think they've pinpointed exactly where everyone is. And if they're not going to be here, once this breach player clears B, Kai actually finding out, doesn't actually dodge the breach flash, but stays alive for a second. Dre not finding the instant conversion on that. It won't matter though. He doesn't take any damage. And they'll bait out C and go for that long A rotate. I think Anthony's already convinced that it's happening. He goes so fast over to A-Link. And oh my god, once again, the camera's there. They don't see anything. Now they do. It's a quick callback, but it'll be a race to see who hits site first. Hey.
I can hear it now. I can hear it now.
Here's the first one. He gets it. The second, he's on ice. Going for the pre-fires. Not there. Dre picks it back up. Jammies. Now a 1v2. It'll be Punaj. He's been in the spot before. On his own ice. Blocks it off. Sees one. Gets it. Now for the 2. Isn't there Punaj so close, but no turn up. Gets the clean up too. And he gets that defuse up. Yup, it'll be a 6-4, much needed for Smoke because these guys were losing round after round. Now have a little bit more space.
Yeah, and able to pick up an op, which will be great for their economy as well because, as you said, they were poor.
Yeah.
So feeling a little bit better coming into this round. Should be a lot better off here. And let's see what ultimates we got ready. We have Anthony Jammies and Joseph. Okay, so Orbital Strike. We have the teleport ready from Omen. And, Cypher's intel, if he can find a fresh dead body. That's the only bad part about Cypher. You have to have a body. He's the only one. Yeah, I mean, same with Sage too. You have to have the body in front of you, so it's difficult, and sometimes you can't even, you know, get that ultimate off.
I mean, these damage affected or these damage-based ults that usually affect one spot on the map. I mean, the other side of things will have like ults that generally affect everyone. You know, Omen and Cypher, although not gonna do direct impacts to health pools. I mean, Cypher sees exactly where everyone is. Omen affects everyone mentally with the mind games as to where he will be on positioning. So it's a trade-off. You have to balance how many damage ones you have, how many utility-based ults you have.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, matters too. Dre actually picks up jammies. I think for the first time getting first blooded in a while, so this round will be very different. A B take fast. As Sage gets on site, walls off the left, gets so close to getting Aftershock on the right, dazed, confused. There's another orbital strike, can't be done for this player here. It'll be Pride going down. Joseph with the 3K, single-handedly working this retake of a site they've barely even lost yet. The ice and orbital combo is going to be so breezy, so cold.
You're right. I mean, that orbital strike gotta kill, and it hurt. It hurt the Sova so much, but he just wanted to get the plant out to get that extra point for his team there. And that was beautifully played by Smoke. Great handle on it. I felt like that was more aggressive from Highground than usual. As far as that push on Garage and then B, I mean, he orbital striked the Garage. You know, he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they went for control. It was a fake. Sometimes that orbital can be used to kind of switch up the pace, but I think that's where Highground falters, is playing fast. They're so good, as I mentioned before, at adapting, waiting that extra second. Without it, you see rounds like that where it's finally a B take, one of the hardest sites to get, hold, and also retake as well. And then at the same time, like when you throw stuff straight to the fan like that, you have to just play on audible, play on the ultimates you already have. With a big investment of an orbital already, it'll be difficult for these guys to come back. But that was last round. And this one, everyone up. And it's going to be a huge roll over. The Rolling Thunder scooping out Valiate. Team damage there, unfortunately. But 2K just dropped down. We'll see, I think, one Cypher living in a cubby. It's Anthony who gets traded out by Dre. A big Owl drone, although Daze can still see things while Venerate stays it safe. But Jammies with a big whiff.
Yeah, he
his
had
drone,
the high ground.
didn't find it.
Yeah, Omen used his teleport. He got high ground, but was unable to capitalize on that.
Joseph looks for more. Turnup finds one. A slower pace retake here. The clicks not hitting. Valiant stops Joseph again from the flak and finds Kai as well, as Turnup gets his third on the Pride. It's action both ways as we have two heroes, but Turnup has to get this jump down properly. He's going for the big play. This is the last round, so he can't save.
And there is
Scooping
fall damage,
up
though.
Someone at hell. It's not going to be possible to drop down just enough health to get it done, but it's Valiate that comes in with that 3K, holds it down the last round of the half, giving a chance for Highground to still have a close footing in this matchup. It is round 2. They can walk in with that first map victory and then take it away in game 2 as well.
Yeah, 7-5. It's too close for comfort if you're Smoke, in my opinion. You know, probably hoping for a little bit better of a lead, but we'll see how Highground does on defense here. Like you were mentioning, you know, between Omen and Brimstone, that's a lot of coverage to sneak in on the side of Smoke. And being that these are much smaller maps, you know, it only takes 2 smokes to give you a whole line of site coverage. There's a lot of close corners, especially around mid and garage.
Now Venerated will try his best to defend Garage, but the timing for this recon bolt has to be precise to know if there's someone in or not. Turnup going straight through a smoke into Garage. They have control immediately onto C. Jammies enters. Venerated can't do much to stop. Has a shock dart. Doesn't actually connect with much. And now 3 people on the side of the defensive spawn will not be able to cross that wall. Jammies, though, finds a pickup. There's a flash that comes in. Can they jump up and over it? Doesn't look like it. Will have to knife their way through. Kai, though, knows this.
Yeah.
Goes in from the back. He has the flank. The shots are lined up, but they don't know. From the back, there's one on a Punage. Venerated finds another on defense. Kai, though, trying to defend the bomb. finds one head but can't tap the second. Dre with another clutch. The man actually holding down multiple rounds for his team will make it even more even. 6 to 7. High
More
ground.
even. I like that. Yeah, 6 to 7 now. Pistol round though, so you don't want to say it's going over one way or another, but Kai did have the backside just didn't pick up as much as he was probably hoping to. But in that scenario, when you have one rotating and the other one out in the open, you leave your other, your partner in a 2v1 situation for a moment. And it's hard to win those. So that's kind of the setback. So I guess if you're on the side of Team High Ground, you got to probably communicate that, hey, going in for a flank pullback. But yeah, definitely needing comms on this this map is very crucial. Nice pick from Jammies.
Jammies with the teleport slide all the way to the bottom of the stairs, but then looking at the top of the head of Anthony, takes it out with a clean 2-tap. He doesn't even know what happened. A fast spike plant on this eco round. It gets a little bit more exciting when we have a possibility of the low earning team winning in terms of the amount of money they have. Is Jamie secluded in the spot is the real question. Double mollies down, block off garage for a short time, but that clock is ticking. They don't know Jammies is on the right. That right click from the classic could one tap, and he swings actually fast on the venerated. And this eco round, possible disaster as Jammies picks up a gun with the 4K, but can't find the ace. It's Dre again, back to back, making sure the rounds they're supposed to win are there in their books.
Yeah, I mean, Smoke is doing so good at getting in quick, planting quick, but holding it down and swapping from offense to defense is just not in their favor right now.
This is kind of like how it looked against Team Geomok. It seemed like a very close game. It was always down to the last player, but every single death beforehand, giving 4Ks over to the enemy team, was planned for one person at the end to come through and win the game out. On Bind, usually Pride. Now on this map, it's your boy Dre. Doesn't matter if it's A, C, or B. He's there on all three sites to make sure his team has the win on the board regardless of KDA.
Yeah, I mean, you have people who are best playing slow, and that's going to be your anchor. The people who can come in last, calm nerves of steel, and that's just kind of like their play style, and they know that. And then you have your open fraggers that just come in all willy-nilly, and they're comfortable with that, You have to have a certain play style, but also a certain mentality to do that type of play.
And Joseph looks over. A few shots actually taken for this team. They do have a resurrect available. Actually, no, that's the defense that has one available as Pride walks in. Gets one stop. Dre finds another. The great wall of Seaside is making sure no one gets this drop at all. There's another, and then another flick, and another one.
Your boy Dre just showing what he's made of here. Jamie's getting the heck out of there, going over to Seaside, gonna plant, put a point on the board.
Nah, this is the classic strat to try to win rounds. This is where Omen can invest his ultimate onto Haven, but now he'll need every shot to land, and the first one is not there on Pride. A play for the record books we'll never get to see.
Yeah, I mean, one man, one op, it can be done. It's a one shot, one kill, and if you're the team coming in and you're stacking, or if you're going in one by one and just giving him the opportunity instead of rushing down, you can give somebody with an operator the chance to come back, very easily. But good play from James. Good try.
Good play, good try. That's the one thing Omen players can always do. It's so scary when they're last alive. Their post-plant setups too. No one will be able to hear where they shadow step from.
That goes there.
So they can set up anywhere they want. Good idea to be aggressive, but
This is a nice spot.
what a close game still.
Oh yeah, 8-7. I mean, this is a lot closer than it was on Bind.
Venerated, my god. The strategy that is kind of sifted through multiple rounds on the hay barrels for the offensive side, actually coming in as a surprise on an eco round. That's the one time people don't check, and Dre not clutching, but trying to defend first. Doesn't actually find anything. Hunter's Fury going to reveal Anthony. He's going to get tagged up twice. Poonage going to find a big spray down. No, they are on the site. It is an eco round. They won't find a way through to get the bomb down. Or the spike mine me and find a way through. This will be a wrapped up round. One given to Highground to make it 9-7.
Yeah, and he's just going to chill in this corner, see if he can get a pick before he goes out. Actually peek his head out. Interesting. He's like, let's just get this over with.
Yeah, deal some damage, make them spend some money on armor. The worst thing there, though, the one thing about equal rounds in this game versus other defusal type games is that depending on who gets that 4K, depending on who gets all the kills in the round, who gets to defuse or plant, it actually speaks volumes for the rounds to follow. Right now, on that round, or the previous one, Poonage actually ends up using his resurrect ability, making him go all the way down to 0 charges on his ultimate. But as you can see now on the scoreboard, and after that 4K, he's almost halfway there again. And he could possibly get 2 off before this game ends.
Oh, absolutely. So Venerated looking for that pick again, but they're going to bust down the armor from afar. And Venerated thinking about going back in there.
Take flight.
Gonna get some intel first here. And Smoke kind of spread out this time. Trying to get more intel before rushing in. Taking their time.
Oh, nice try there from Ven. Trying to get that wall bang all the way that window from the middle side. Is kind of passable with op shots, at least from great distances. On the backside, though, a little bit more patience from Team Smoke as they wait things out. Let the other team simmer. Wait for Venerated to adjust exactly where he's going. Might not be exactly what they want to do, though, because we've seen him operate on window last round, at least. This time, we'll try again, but it'll be a beat take that he actually can't stop. And there's no orbital strike from defense this time. A heal coming out from Poonage. He gets taken out, but Pride has the trade. Dre after that, and Turn Up. Both breaches taking out Brim, so no more smokes. And Turn Up actually being the better one, though. Getting the advantage. Venerated, though, still alive here. Op in hand. One shock dart down. Waits for the recon to come through so he finds out exactly where to shoot. This bomb planted for window. Valiant will know that and know exactly where people will be playing post. Finds one now, a troublesome position. A 2v2, Resurrect not going to be on the board. Venerated needs to find a way to get into sight. Valiant's there already. A Sage hiding behind. He finds the head. The second kill for Valiant. Looking for the third. He's behind. And Venerated converts it. A 3K, but then denied. This is not the breach that clutches. That's Dre on the other team. Because Highground is now up 10-7. And it's to every single member rising up to the occasion.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty scary for Smoke down. For Smoke now, down 3. You know, it's 10-7. This is the second map. You cannot afford to lose it if you want to see that third map and continue playing. This is where Nerves of Steel comes into play. This is where, you know, teams really got to just kind of hunker down. I mean, Smoke did play that very well. They took their time. They went in. And, you know, Kai still has his ultimate. He had his ultimate, and he did not res somebody. And that, I feel, kind of, I don't know.
I mean, it's very tricky on post plant, especially. You give away not only your position, but bait your teammate. And this Resurrect is so important for moments like this as multiple people get tagged and Turn Up gets taken out. Highground now finally have enough space to look down onto Smoke, both from the space all the way above, the satellite dropping down damage, and the leaderboard, the scoreboard, up 10-7. As Valiant finds one, Dre converts again, and they know where the last one is. Almost here at match point, series point, tournament point here for Highground, as they're 11 points on the board.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of just what Smoke can do here. I mean, that was a flawless round. You're gonna have those. I mean, the orbital strike was just primo. So let's dust our shoulders off of that one. We do have 4 ults on the side of Smoke now, so we can make something happen.
Big issue, because they've actually been doing the things they want to do right, moving towards Garage and C in the ways they have been, but it's an ultimate that stopped them. Now with full ultimates, they're going to the site that I would argue is one of the easiest to hold when you have numbers, though. We're going to see Venerated and Tunage miss shots, so they'll be able to move up. A wasted ultimate is going to suck, but there's going to be one bouncing straight back onto the attacking side. Anthony holding on by a thread. Pride taking out Turnup. That's a spike down in the spot you don't want to see. He gets forced out, though, and oh my god, Jammies finds Valiate. Kai, though, with the trade and with the earlier kills they got on entry, there's not enough people to actually trade out. The normal high ground plan not used. Although, a smart choice to take because they haven't hit it too much. They have an opportunity to get garage control when the defense side orbital strike is not up. They'll choose not to do it. I feel like going for A here might be the wrong decision time and time again, because once high ground finds their groove, it's only one round these guys can give up before things are too late.
Oh yeah. No, and that was great. They weren't able to get the pick on the op, and it was just a total rush on. So you miss that, you have 3 other people staring you down, and you're trying to reload. So that was perfectly played by Smoke, the side of Smoke. I think if you were going to look down long A, you're gonna commit, and you're gonna throw bodies at it.
Out of charges.
But how many times can you do that? Because now just 4 left on Smoke. The Resurrect there has to find its way through, but Venerated knows this. He's waiting for anyone to peek in. 1 on the close left, waiting for Sage coming. On the hay barrels far left as well. Kai's down. No Resurrect available. Smoke will have to play with 3 people. This might already be up all the way to match point. Joseph down 2. Tunage, the defense through the smoke finds 1. Turn up on the other side, but it's looking drastic. He used that Rolling Thunder to no effect last round and got it straight returned back. We'll see Jamie is now in a 1v5 situation with the ultimate. We'll give it his all here. Has the spike, has from the shadows available, but every site has a big spotlight on it. This Omen cannot use what he likes best. Deception.
Yeah.
And darkness.
Yeah, he finds himself in a dark place now himself.
This could be a BTP though. And he waits. This could be it for Jammies.
The patience on this man.
Kill save. Oh my god. My heart stopped, but they might come straight back. They move over to A actually. Now he's actually saving this. Ooh, we can all breathe out. He'll have the ult for the last round. Maybe that's exactly what they need. But now this time, Smoke has to win 5 rounds in a row to be able to win out the game.
And that's another Everest to climb. I mean, that's asking for a tall order here. It's not going to be easy. Yeah. Can't say that it's impossible. Kai does have his Resurrect up. Punich has his though too. And it's going to, I mean, Highground is such a good, well-rounded team that it's hard to pinpoint a weak spot. You know, sometimes when you attack a team, especially on Haven, you're like, okay, well, C is their weak point, or A is their weak point. But what can you say about Highground right now? Like, what would you say is the weak point?
On Haven, it's less about sites, it's more about team play, and that's exactly what Highground does time and time again. Also, using their utility at the most opportune moments. Right now, not even overextending onto the A site. Getting 1 pick, backing off, waiting for the action to come to them, and a jump has to be forced by Joseph to get away from the fault line. It's not enough. This could be it. A 3-man spot here, all the way on A. Orbital strike is there. Kai actually finds one from heaven and drops down as Valiant as he gets another. Jammies trades it out. Now, it's all up to Jammies, the man with a mission. But that mission is over. There will not be a next time. 13-8 for Highground with 3 people still alive. Time after time. They haven't dropped a single map. They take out this entire competition with win after win after win. They're
in good
so
fashion.
Good. Yeah, tournament after tournament, man. I think these guys might be the best Valorant players we have on the planet so far.
On the planet?
Could be a possibility. I'm saying it. I'm giving them some respect because this tournament, I'm not going to say the opponents were bad by any means. They had their strats.
Yeah.
I mean, this team has shown off in multiple tournaments. They have exactly what it takes to win. Although not seeing first too many times, at least today, they played the best out of every single team available.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, our champions from last week weren't able to return. I feel like that would have been a really good matchup for them. But Highground, yeah, very, very impressive. The team communications, the rotations, the overall confidence, but also knowing each player has a specific role and then fitting into that role beautifully. You have your Sovas. Those throughout this competition, these may have been the best Sova alts I've ever seen. I'll say that because it's hard. It's hard to hit a Sova alt efficiently and to get that vision. And I've seen some of the best Sova alts I've ever seen, definitely during this competition. And I watched the streams. I watched Summit and Shroud and all them. And this is like, I'll have to say that this Sova was phenomenal. Getting that intel and hitting his alts.
And I mean, the Sova's name, Venerated, who had the op plays as well, waiting for Recon or Owl Jones to come through, waiting for the Cypher capabilities as well, to have him have a POV first of exactly where people are running, where they're going, then using Hunter's Fury. He not only closed out rounds with that clutch potential on Haven, but we saw time and time again these guys pick Bind, or their opponents did by accident. I see now, because who would want to play Bind against this team, this Highground team? Like, he opened up the map in so many different ways on every single site. But I want to go through all the players for this team. We have your boy Dre, who at the very end, although he was entering a lot and clutching up second, third in to post-plan situations, over on Haven on the last map, he clutched out multiple times, 1v1 scenarios, and he was there consistently. I don't think lost a single one on the second back half. We had Pride as well, who was that role for every single Bind map all the way till the finals. If he was alive, I said it before, their team thrives. Like, there's no way they're losing a round if Pride is there, and his orbital strikes, countering another one from the other side, or stopping a defuse, even post-plant, was amazing. And then the one person who shouldn't be getting away with it, but does it time and time again, Valiate, on Bind, on Haven, doesn't matter, on the flank, should be playing Omen because he's in the shadows so much. Like, he got so many power picks, like the safest spot you could be in, the man with the ultimate, denied. No big breach ultimates. There's no Hunter's Furies available on post plant, and that was because of Valiant on Bind time and time again. Anyone else left over? I don't think so. I think that's the full 5 that we went over. I think I'm actually missing
the Sage.
The Sage player.
Yeah. Punich?
Sage player healed up. Who was it? Because I'm looking at the list over here. I'm not recognizing the name, at least.
Oh.
It escapes me, but
let me look at their
go
team.
back in the VOD. The Sage, in terms of resurrections, were there. I feel bad because it's late for me. I'm missing it. I'll go back in the VOD to see what's up.
Yeah.
But the one things I noticed from the Sage was the usage of utilities and walls at the proper times, not overusing them too much on a push, waiting for things to happen, fighting back, and resurrects were always there to answer the enemy teams. It wasn't like an audible call of please res me, like we can win this round. It was we can save the rest sometimes, make it a 4v4, but then after that come in with a 5v5 when there's 2 reses available, and mostly counter res as well. So that was a very good thing to see.
Yeah. And I believe it was Punich. The name is different on Battlefy.
Punich as well. The one thing too that I noticed on Bind is he just stepped up in semifinals, 3K after 3K, the top of the board. I said the name so much, and it's a very interesting name, XD. But like the man popped off too, so it's cool to see. And I think that team is well rounded out in all ways. My Siri is activating for some reason, but those finals, man, a 2-0. I expected it. Not sure about you. Team Highground, really good team.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get to see a whole lot from Vinny, but I mean, the way that Highground played throughout the entire tournament, though, they didn't lose their cool, and they kept the momentum. As we said, they kept it going, and they were hot through beginning to end. So it's like, they didn't slow roll anything. They just kept playing their game to the best of their ability, and Bind clearly, for next Sunday, anybody will know to ban it against them because, they're just so dominant on there. And like we said, everyone fell into their role. Everyone just knew exactly where they wanted to be. You had your flanker, you had your anchor, Punich laying down the heels and the walls, in the Cypher cameras, I enjoyed the Cypher battles, of course, the spy versus spy. I felt like I was watching those comics, just seeing who's going to pull out. So that was just, it was very great grand finals. It would have been nice to see Split in a way, kind of, just to kind of see how that they played, because
Maybe not.
I know everyone, yeah, and I feel like that's the thorn in everyone's side. And I just kind of
Yeah.
wanted to see if maybe, maybe Highground had that thorn, like it would Split be it. But they did really well on Haven as well. Not as good as Bind as we saw, but that was beautifully played from both sides. And hats off to Smoke, for not laying down. Even after the first Bind match, you were down
Yeah.
such a deficit, and you really tried to pull it through, and you never really gave up. And then on Haven, you were right there, kind of neck and neck, and you were making it such a close match. You didn't lay it down. You didn't let that first round really get to you, because you can't tilt in this game. That's one thing I've always said. If you tilt in this game, you are going to have a bad time. And deaths happen so fast. And if you get shot, you just shake it off. You try to help the rest of your team out, and you can't make it about you getting killed right off the bat or anything like that. So it's good on them for keeping their cool and still playing to the best of their ability and not letting it get to them. So that was really nice to see. But
Yeah, I mean, long day for them, long day for us as well. It's wrapped up though. We have our Sunday Showdown champions. I'm not sure if you guys have an updated leaderboard as to what the standings are overall.
And we should have that out soon, Big
Soon?
Boss.
True.
Probably the leaderboard. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll be out by tomorrow. So we'll have our new standings here. And, having 128 teams every week on a Sunday is phenomenal. And I hope I get to see new names out here. I don't believe Smoke was in here last week. So seeing these new teams come out swinging and making it to top 32, it's very inspiring, because it's like you don't want to see all these teams being the same every time now. You want to see the new players. And I think as we get further into beta, more people get their hands on the game, we're going to see some new faces, or not faces, new names, team names out there. And we'll get to see different play styles as well. So I'm pretty excited about that, and how people are going to adapt to this game too, because it's still like in such its infancy right now. And there's a lot more to come from this game, and it's just super exciting. And I'm glad to be a part of this. I love the game. Like I said, I haven't played Overwatch since Valorant dropped. Just been kind of playing this game. It's super fun. And the matches are quick, and I feel like that has a lot to do with it. When the matches are quick, you can just kind of feel like, okay, I can jump into this. This is a game I can keep going with. But yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out. Well, I got 47 viewers still left in here. Shout out to our sponsors, Hilo Gummies. Highground must have been chewing on these things, because their reaction time was just amazing. And also shout out to Game Arena, Tactics, and Esports Gear right now if you're looking for a custom-made face mask right now, which we all need in a lot of places. You can't even go anywhere without it. So if you're looking for something cool to sport, definitely check them out. Get yourself a custom-made face mask.
Nice.
But Shy, thank you so much. This was fun, and I hope you had a lot of fun up in Canada helping us out there.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun for me. Every tournament is very good practice for casting and looking at exactly how top teams are playing, especially against other mid-tier teams and other other titans that are coming in. So good eye opener for me once again. And then I hope to see you guys next week as well.
Yeah, we'll be here on Sunday, every Sunday. Well, actually,
Cool.
Sunday's my birthday. I'll be 31. Getting old.
True.
True. Yeah, true. I can't even deny it anymore. Oh, man. But yeah, every Sunday, Valorant Sunday Showdown, and we're super excited. 128 teams every week. And, just I want to give a shout out to all our viewers, all our fans. Follow us on our socials. Give the shout out, because 128 may eventually turn into even more teams. The more players, the more interest we can get in here, the more viewership we can get, the bigger this thing can grow. And would be super excited to have even more pulls and more chances for people to climb to the top. It'd be great to see. But until then, Shy, thank you very much once again, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks again. And bye, chat. We'll see you next Sunday. Love you guys.